What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you live on a very angry Monday morning here at Site B in lovely small island off the coast of Costa Rica. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. It is April 3rd, 2023. We are recovering from a very bizarre WrestleMania weekend, but because it is Monday, it is time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game bundles that are available this week. We tried recording this a little earlier today, but then a gigantic truck came and parked in front of my house, so we had to stop it. But we're back. Now remember, when talking about the bundles, first, these are all PDFs, unless I specifically say otherwise. Second, if you're going to download PDFs or any of these things that I say, please, in the name of John Cena, check them for malware and viruses. I just got another letter, post, email, whatever you want to call it, from somebody who found some friends on a PDF that he downloaded. And finally, in regards to the charity bundles, there's nothing I really recommend this week. So I would say if you're feeling generous and, the spring fever mood, just give the money directly to the charity instead of going through the bundle. Or you could just buy my merch, because let's face it, I'm a charity. I might give money to them when you can give money to me. Anyways, let's take a look at all the bundles. And these are going to be all April Fools themed, at least a lot of them. A few of them are themed around honor amongst thieves or thievery, because that seems to be a thing. But a lot of them are going to be April Fool's products. So they're going to be things people thought were funny. And disturbingly, most of them revolve around poop. So I guess that tells you what the general tabletop role-playing game community thinks is the humor level of us these days. Poop jokes. Starting with the freebies that are going to be available on drive-thru and stuff, we have from Modifius for Octon Cthulhu, their entry for April Fools. It's Eat for Victory. It's a recipe book set in the alternative World War II of Octon Cthulhu. If you ever wondered what our boys were eating while they were overseas fighting Nazi Cthulhu, now you know, because Modifius has released a free Octon Cthulhu cookbook. Catalyst Games has released their April Fool's joke for Shadowrun. It's called Who Drecked in the Sprawl? And this is an entire adventure slash product slash thing dealing with the different creatures that are wandering around the sprawl of the Shadowrun universe and how and where they poop. So if you've ever wanted to run a role-playing game quest set in the Shadowrun universe about poop, now you can. Storyteller's Vault has also released one for Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition. This is called The Art of Grogandiria, and how it fits into the ever-changing art world of Changeling the Dreaming. Grogandiria, pretty sure poop. David Potters has released something for Vampire the Masquerade 20th edition. This is the Jackalope for Vampire. The Jackalope, of course, the beast that shows up in some of the poetry attached to Alice in Wonderland, a famous monster that has been statted out hundreds of times in various role-playing games. Its weakness is, of course, being the Vorpal Blade. So I guess his April Fool's whatever is, here's the Jackalope for Vampire the Masquerade. Sebastian Freeman has also released a April Fool's for World of Darkness called Return of the Abomination. Involving somebody called Samuel Haight. I don't know who Samuel Haight is. Is he a major bad guy in World of Darkness? So I don't get the joke. Egg Embry has released a one-shot adventure called Off Face. This is a tribute adventure slash role-playing game built around the premise of the classic movie Face Off. Octopus Apocalypse apparently has stolen some of my ideas, because their April Fool's was something called Consider the Ooze, presenting you with several takes on ooze, slime, and jelly for your D&D game. for free. Or for $2, you could head on over to Big Geek Emporium and pick up Minions on a Mission issue number 1 for $2, which is 10-15 pages dedicated to various forms of slime that you might find wandering around in your dungeon. Alternatives to, what kind of damage slime does, care and feeding a slime. So you can give this guy some money, or you can give me some money. And I'm just pretty sure he stole the idea from me. He may not have, but I'm going to take credit for it anything. For the Zephyrus engine, Old School Role Playing has released another thing. This one's called Cybernetics and Implants for Frontier Space. So this is another cyber traveler thing. I can't talk today. Sorry. I'm very upset about this whole oven thing. You don't care, but okay. So we have a new thing. They're releasing like one product a week for their take on Traveler. I don't know enough about the Zephyrus engine to know if it works really well for Traveler or not. Somebody told me it does. So yeah, if you're looking for some more additions to your Zephyrus Traveler, Cyberpunks and Implants for Frontiers of Space. Stefan Wendell has released something called Old School Dungeon Stocking Tables, a collection of tables to generate the contents of a dungeon room. From Storyteller Vault, we have something called Descendants of Aaron, which is a new bloodline for Vampire the Masquerade. We have over at DM's Guild, the introductory adventure Shadows of Ravenswood, based around D&D. From Fennec Hespelia, we have something called the White Wagon and the Halfling Moon Inn. These are both maps and zines about various inns, taverns, places like that. And then, of course, we have our usual selection of ancestries, maps, and new builds for the various 5e classes. We have 4 new maps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 new subclasses and stuff like that for 5e. So if you're looking for some new builds for your favorite 5e character type, head on over to GM's Guild under free. And every week they have brand new maps and brand new builds for various sub-races, subclasses, whatever. And of course, the number one thing is the Honor Amongst Thieves freebie bundle on D&D Beyond. If you go to D&D Beyond right now, you can get this bundle of stuff related to Honor Amongst Thieves. We have the character stats for all the major players in the movie, showing the brand new, very interesting stat block that Wizards of the Coast is experimenting with. Is this going to be what 6e looks like in regards to NPCs or even character builds? Who knows? Maybe. It does feel like they're testing the water. Now, I'm going to say I read it, and, it's not a bad idea. It's not D&D, and I don't know if it would work, but GURPSifying Dungeons & Dragons even more than they already have? I don't know. Then we have the legendary magic items, which make zero sense except for the staff. The staff made sense. And the daggers made sense, except, of course, it appears there was only one of those daggers. And I was like, wait, if Zastam can produce these daggers, why doesn't he just mass produce them? Because then he would win everything. A D4 damage plus 3D8 necrotic, and anybody who dies from the dagger can't be brought back except by one thing. Yeah. And then for some reason, he has a new digital dice that has these things on it, these spikes on it, because I guess digital 20-siders built to look like barbed wire are just as attractive as real dice that are made out of barbed wire, because now you could have a digital dice that messes up the inside of your dice bag, as well as a real world dice that ends up the inside of your dice bag, because dice with spikes in it are such a brilliant idea. Moving on to sales. D&D Beyond is running a D&D Essentials sale, including pretty much everything you need to start playing D&D on D&D Belong. So that's 40% off all D&D Beyond digital stuff for starting to play, because, after seeing the movie, all 600 people are going to want to learn how to play D&D. Roll20 also has a sale going on for D&D stuff that is somehow, I guess, sort of connected with the movie. They've got a whole bunch of adventures marked down 40%. So if you're looking to get some D&D love on your Roll20 account, do this, because, you know, Hasbro's like, hey, here's our D&D stuff that are sort of vaguely connected to the movie. Roll20, why don't you put them on sale? Because, you know, our VTT, which we talk so much about over at the, you know, D&D Direct, doesn't actually exist yet. We have some more comedy adventures, but these you have to pay for. This is over at Dungeon Masters Guild, and this is called A Taxing Tax and Out of the Ordinary. So these are both comedy adventures for 95 cents each over at Dungeon Masters Guild. Continuing to try and make Spells Jammer actually work. We have a bundle featuring a whole bunch of new creatures and stuff like that for available for $2 on DM's Guild. It's called Strange Life from the Astral Sea. And then we've got a map bundle with a post-apocalypse theme. This is called Tabletop Wasteland Battle Maps Pack 15 for your VTT. And this is $20. These are VTT products that you need to download and install in your favorite virtual tabletop things. So, of course, if you do install them, check them for viruses. And now the charities, which is the point where I say as my public duty, if any of these charities you are something you want to support, maybe give the money directly to the charity. There is nothing that I can recommend this week, but let's go. Itch.io is still running their trans right bundles to support all the LGBTQ charities in the Florida area. This includes about 500 titles that are, I guess, somehow vaguely connected 5 degrees of separation to the idea of LGBTQ rights. It's $5 for this bundle. It goes to support LGBTQ charities in Florida. So, you know, if that's something you're concerned about, that's a charity you could go to, or you could just give the money directly to the charity. John Kovic of Dark Tower fame has released something called Dark Tower Online, and it has a whole bunch of books and t-shirts and coffee mugs and plushies and stuff like that. And he is agreeing that he will give a bunch of the profits to LGBTQ charities in his neighborhood. So if you're a fan of Dark Tower and Munchkin, want to pick up some Dark Tower product and want to support LGBTQ charities in wherever it is John Kovilak lives, you could buy this bundle, or you could just give the money directly to the charity. There's a Sector 3E bundle for the Zephyrus engine based upon the first edition of Traveler. It concludes everything you need to play Traveler Zephyrus engine version. Let's take a look at this, because I'm still so curious. I don't know enough about the Zephyrus engine to say if this is the best version of Traveler or not. I occasionally hear good things about the Zephyrus engine, but I don't know. Anyways, this is $18. It goes to support victims of brain damage. That's a good charity, considering my brother has had brain damage. So yeah, and it's everything you need to start playing Zephyrus's take on Traveler. And if you're just looking for some more space-related stuff, we've got some battle maps up. This goes to support Direct Relief. It's $15. It doesn't say the name of the company who's putting them out. It just says space. So we're just going to skip that one. If you're not going to tell, you know what? I'm not giving you the free. Screw you. No, you don't even tell me what name you are. Just like, here, give me $15 for maps I can get for free. Goodman Games has a collection of books for Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition, not getting some love from Goodman Games. Do you remember Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition? That's the version of D&D that wasn't affected by the OGL nonsense in January. That was the version that was going, hey, I'm still here. You guys can still play me. You know, hey, it's me, 4th edition. I'm really not that bad. Well, Goodman Games, of course, made product for 4E back in the day, and now they're trying to empty the PDF library. $18 for this bundle, including everything that Goodman Games ever made for 4th edition, and it goes to support food banks in the Bay Area here in California. If you're a comic book fan, there are the entire Dungeons & Dragons comic books and graphic novels, including the Dragonlance and Drizzt novels, are all up. Plus, of course, the stories featuring Minx and Boo. It's $18 bundle. It goes to support Hasbro. Because apparently Hasbro has a charity. Yeah. So if you want to give $18 to Hasbro to pick up some digital comic books that you could probably find online for free, you could do this. Speaking of virtual tabletop, One More Multiverse has a virtual tabletop up. This includes the actual program for their virtual tabletop called One More Multiverse, as well as everything you need to run various things on One More Multiverse virtual tabletop. $25 gets you the VTT program, plus all the additions. Of course, this is you're downloading an actual computer program, so please check it for viruses and malware. And this goes to support the Trevor Project. There is a bundle of 3D printable assets from 3D Printer. This is called the Dungeons and Monsters bundle. $25 gets you a whole bunch of stuff. It doesn't say the exact amount, but it says it's got walls, floors, monsters, accessories, decorations, characters, buildings, all things you can print out with your 3D bundle printer thingy if you actually happen to own one. This goes to support Make-A-Wish, always a great charity to support. Since you are downloading assets for something that is computerized, again, check it for viruses and malwares. There is a Warhammer bundle still up over at Humble Bumble. This is the Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy bundle. Includes everything that they have made for Dark Heresy, Black Crusade, and Only War. It equals about 50 titles. Goes to support children's health hospitals in the UK. And $25 gets you 50 titles. Then there is a map bundle for gaming software design. This one's been up for a while. It includes Campaign Cartographer 3, Symbols, World Mapper, Fantasy City Mapper, Factual Terrains 3, tons of computer thingies that do digital mappy magic for those of you who can't draw. $30 gets you everything in the bundle. It goes to support charities that are involved in maintaining the ocean. And but this is all computer programs. So again, please check them for viruses and malwares. There is a huge Shadowrun bundle running from Catalyst Games over in Humble Bumble. This contains pretty much everything you need to play the Shadowrun 5th edition version. Shadowrun is currently on its 6th edition, I believe. So this is the previous edition. It includes all the books, all the supplements, adventures, campaigns, stuff like that. $18 is the top price, and it goes to support food banks in and around, I guess, Seattle is where Shadowrun Catalyst Games is currently located. Yes? No? Maybe? Food banks? If you have a food bank in your neighborhood, they're always looking for donations, and that's probably a better way to support food banks than giving money to Catalyst Games, unless you really need everything that's ever been made for Shadowrun previous edition. And then there is a YouTube creator bundle featuring tons of video software for $25. This goes to support the Malala Fund, which I believe is a cancer research organization. Or you could just get editing software like ORB and whatever for free. But if you're going to download any software, hardware, programs, magical things on the interweb that make things work in ways I do not understand, of course, as always, check them for viruses. And what did we learn today, kids? We learned that apparently the highest level of comedy the tabletop role-playing game can come up with for April Fools is poop jokes. Yay, poop jokes, because nothing says serious role-playing. We put all our time and effort into a really great, complicated, well-thought-out April Fool's prank like 6-year-old humor. Poop jokes. Because apparently that is the maturity level you think those of us in the tabletop role-playing game community have. But considering some of the stuff I read on a daily basis or see from vlogs on the daily basis regarding the maturity level of all of us, maybe poop jokes isn't that far off because we're still arguing over death in D&D and whether sandbox are a thing or not. Yeah, so poop jokes. Till next time, I'm the OG GM. Thank you for being part of this adventure. If you appreciate the nonsense, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. And of course, you could head on over to Big Geek Emporium. Check out Minions on a Mission issue number 10, anthology issue featuring a brand new adventure and the first King Slime activity pages, because yeah, that's what everybody wants, right? More King Slime. We've got a King Slime's Maze, King Slime word searches. We've got the first King Slime comic. If you are a fan of our mascot King Slime, head on over to Big Geek Emporium. Pick up Minions on a Mission issue number 10 for $2. Get a brand new 5-room dungeon featuring multiple creatures from previous Minions on a Missions and 3 pages of King Slime fun. I've been the OG GM. Thank you. Talk to you later. I still do not have a working oven.